3, 2, 1.
My name is Andrea Monroe, and I'm the Associate Director here at Service Learning Institute. Tragedy, protest, art, community, and university. These combined elements inspired what you're about to see. The initial sparks came from attending the 2018 March for Your Lives gun control protest organized by Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School students in Washington, D.C. During the march, I was struck by the creative, witty, and moving ways people expressed their feelings and spoke truth to power about needless and horrific gun-related deaths, especially mass shootings at our schools. I then thought about protest signs that motivated me since the 1960s. Signs seen as a child and a teenager during the civil rights movement, women's rights movement, anti-war movements. How long will we be holding protest signs over the same issues and the same isms? What if we could see protest march messages over time? What would we learn? This reflection and idea would have stayed as such without integrating the other key elements. People and organizations passionate about linking art, service, and social justice. An invitation from CSUMB Service Learning Institute faculty, Pamela Motoike and Deborah Burke, connected me to Open Ground Studios, a seaside-based nonprofit dedicated to art creation and exploration for adults. Open Ground Studios, founded by Denise Saunders, became the new creative home for internationally renowned painter Paul Richmond, an Ohio native and co-founder of the You Will Rise Art Against Bullying project. A spontaneous conversation with Paul about my reflections about protest signs, plus his artwork with youth to confront bullying and homophobia, and his generous willingness to bring in another outstanding socially conscious artist, Briden Schueren, led to this action made visible, the creation of the Rise to Change campaign and this mural. Tragedy, protest, art, community, and university. When we link our concerns, interests, networks, skills, and commitment to social justice, we can shift conversations to action. The mural you're about to see recognizes issues of vital importance to humanity and the raised voices of those who do social work, people seen and unseen. It also raises questions about issues and isms that continue to confront us. How long will these signs remain relevant? CSUMB Service Learning Institute, we warmly invite you to visit us here anytime to review, reflect, and discuss this with us and those you care about. So with that, I'd like to turn things over to Paul Richmond.
I'm not going to talk a lot because I live here and you can talk to me anytime, and I really want to give you a chance to hear from my friend Briden, who came all the way from Ohio and is such an inspiring, awesome artist, and I had such a great time working with him on this. But before I give you the mic, I just want to say thank you to a few people, starting with Andrea. Give her a big hand. Could not ask for a better partner, collaborator, brainstormer. Everybody at the Service Learning Institute has just been incredible this week. So open to all of our crazy ideas and letting us come in here at night and paint in our onesies and listen to loud dance music all day. This may be the last mural they ever request, but it has been a really fun week. We have enjoyed. So Seth, Pam, Deb, everybody at SLI, I thank you so much. This really has been an awesome experience, and I also want to especially thank all of the artists who picked up a paintbrush and helped us with this mural. A big hand for everybody who painted with us. One more.
Take your time.
I said I didn't want to talk long, but this is what happens. We have some awesome artwork on display all around the room, so it's not just about the mural. We have artwork from Palenke Arts. They have signs that they made, paintings, all kinds of beautiful things. We have protest signs from the Women's March on display all around the room. We have this beautiful piece in the back from the Boys and Girls Club in the corner over there. So a lot of community organizations got involved today. Individual artists also contributed amazing pieces of art that you can see around the space. And with that, Briden.
Again, also thank you everybody we could not have done this without you. Paul contacted me. We've known each other when he lived in Columbus. I was his studio landlord, and he contacted me because I do a lot of outreach and education for the trans community, for the LGBT that sometimes gets forgotten, and I've been really actively trying to make the team more represented and visible. The piece behind most of you is kind of one statement piece that I did that's the question of which bathroom do I deserve to go into. When he contacted me, it was kind of like, wow, this is awesome. I can't wait to be a part of something that can really make a change in this world. And it's absolutely beautiful, and Paul is freaking awesome. Everybody is awesome, and I have a bad mouth. But yeah, again, rise to change, rise number 2, change. Thank you, everybody.
Everybody that helped with the mural, come up and you can now help us again unveil it. And then everybody else, you're going to help us with the countdown.
3, 2, 1.
It smells like paint. Imagine. There's still paint on my hands. That tells you how recently we were finishing this up.
I have the pleasure to sit right in here and to be inspired all week by this amazing art and activism. It's just been a pleasure to be here. It's an unforgettable week for me here. So we just want to, on behalf of everyone at the Service Learning Institute, really thank Briden and Paul for this incredible creativity, your energy, your organizational skills, your innovation, your care has just been amazing. And we want to give you something to thank you and so that you can remember us.
A little honorware. Thank you.
And then everyone who was here working, come up, please.
Oh yeah, let's get a picture.
Where are you going? Where are you going? That was so much calm.
2 years ago, I met this one here, Juan, whose face is in the mural, and I became acquainted with Palenke Arts, which is his incredible organization that offers all kinds of awesome art experiences for the young people of our community. He's opened the doors to the You Will Rise project and allowed us to come and take over and do some programming there. And he's really helped enrich some of our other events too, which is why we invited them to come today in the spirit of community and activism. Give a big hand to Palenke Arts and Juan St. John.
I asked the kids, it's like, what's an alien? And it's like, well, it's somebody from another planet. So why do human beings have cards that say aliens? And that's why I chose this, todos somos inmigrantes, we're all immigrants, you know, and sometimes I wouldn't say a bunch of things, I want to say we're all humans, you know, and we're not from another planet, we're human beings. It goes like this.
I can't speak alien.
So it goes like this. I'm not an alien. I'm not from Mars. I'm not a terrorist. I'm no La Paz. I'm not a gangster. Vine a trabajar. Sing it.
So you said I'm a human being.
I'm not green. I'm not a machine.
I'm not green, I'm not a machine.
I'm not shaped like a jelly bean.
I'm I shake like a little bee.
Cruzo la frontera, pero no tengo antenas. Cruzo por nogales y no como nopales. Y no como nopales. I'm not an alien. Say it.
I'm not from Mars. I'm not a terrorist. I'm all a paz. I'm not a gangster. Quiero trabajar. Soy un ser humano, a human being.
I can read, I can write.
I can read, I can write.
I'm a good student looking for a better life.
I'm like a student who never
Me
realized.
vengo escondido sin malos motivos. Vengo escondido sin malos motivos. Vine a este país para ser feliz.
Vine a este país
Para ser feliz. And you know the rest. I'm not an alien.
I'm not from Mars. I'm not a terrorist.
I'm all a paz. Oh yeah, you did it. I'm not a gangster. Vine a trabajar. Soy un ser humano.
I'm a human being.
Aunque me busca la ley,
Aunque me gusta la ley,
yo quiero ser el rey.
yo quiero ser el rey.
Pa' comer cornflakes
Para comer cornflakes
y también fritoles.
y también fritoles.
They made it up. I'm not an alien. Here we go.
I'm not from Mars.
Say it.
I'm not a terrorist.
I'm all about.
I'm not a gangster.
Vine a trabajar.
Soy un ser humano, a human being.
Sing it.
They say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one. Do, 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 da 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 do, 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 da do, 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 da da do. Marginal possessions. I wonder if you can. Don't need to lead or sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer,
Say it.
but I'm not the only one.
You know you want
the light that shines within. It's not all the things that you in the dark. You're beautiful just the way you are. And you don't have to change a thing, the world can change its heart. Some stars are beautiful, the stars are beautiful.
My name is Rene Casas. I work here at the Service Learning Institute as the coordinator of community partnerships and evaluation specialist. This sign represents not only myself, but it represents my father. You know, my father was instrumental in having me learn the steps of community organizing, what it takes to unite community, and how to advocate for community change. And the sign is La Comunidad es Poder. In English is community's power. Having the opportunity to be here highlighted in this mural of community organizers, advocates, and the posters that mean a lot to the individuals that are here in the mural is something extraordinary and something humbling to be next to my father. It's an intergenerational mural here. So this is myself right here, and this is my dad who is not able to be with us here today. He's not feeling good, so you know I'm here representing myself and my father. When Andre, our associate director, was talking about community leaders and people in the Tri-County area, my dad's name got highlighted because of the work that he did in Castroville. So not only is my dad that was very instrumental in keeping me on the right path, but Juan Sanchez was my third grade teacher. Having him work here, you know, now he's my colleague. I graduated from university, and you know, having him in the same mural as me, and growing up going to the library with Sally Childs, that's also here in this mural. It's something beautiful to see because you know it's a power that we have in ensuring that students and kids that get the right message and they get the support and the love can move forward and do beautiful things. It's beautiful when you're able to tie in the artwork into the stories. I mean, here you're able to see the mural about the people and what they have in their sign, but there's a long story behind the people that are here in the mural. You know, our ancestors and people that came before us have been fighting for equal rights, for justice, and to have this highlighted in a university is huge. I mean, students are going to come in and they're going to look at it and they're going to say, you know what, I can relate to that poster, I can relate to that sign. So it's something beautiful that's going to make an impact beyond just the mural here, but throughout CSUMB.
My name is Helen Rucker. I live in Seaside, and I'm representing on the poster the Seaside Voter Registration and Education Office. I'm spending a lot of my time these days trying to persuade all the young people, particularly, to register to vote. We're getting ready for the 2020 election. We need young people, particularly, they're our future. We need them to all register to vote. I'm going to the high schools, talking to the civics classes, trying to get them pre-registered. The county will let us pre-register 16 and 17-year-olds so that when they become eligible, they will already be registered and they will be able to vote in the 2020 election. It's just very important to me because I grew up in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, where black people were discouraged from voting with all of their shenanigans that they could put us through. So I have a passion for voter registration. I think this is one of the ways in which we're going to really get some equality for people in this country is by encouraging everybody to register to vote and know the issues.
I'm David Collins. This is me here with the sign, When Black Families Matter, All Families Matter. There's not a genuine concern for families anymore. There's more so pushing like single family households, and that puts a damper on the relationship with your children and how they grow and how they progress in the world. I have a daughter that I had in another relationship, which I haven't seen for a while, since 2011, when she was 6 years old. So now she's 14. Due to certain circumstances on the mother's position, she chooses to stay hidden away, even though I pay child support and things like that. So this is very dear to me, just to reconnect with her. The strain on the child support system is effective only for the monetary gain of that, the other person. But
my faith makes me a gay activist. Homosexuality and gay people are often treated as though they're antithetical to faith, and I'm a very, very spiritual person. So for me, that was painful and awful when I discovered that those two things were did not sit well with each other in the world. And so I went on a whole trek of trying to find, not spirituality because I already had that, but trying to find fellowship. And then after I've done that, I really kind of feel like I'm concerned about other people who suffer some sort of religious-based discrimination. But it's out of my spirituality and out of my faith. That's part of what makes me do that. To me, it's completely consistent with Christianity and everything that you would learn from any of the golden rules. Good girl.
I've worked on campus for decades, and service learning's been a very important part of the learning experience for students with disabilities. When Andrea Monroe contacted me, I thought, well, sure, we'll provide a voice representing people with disabilities, non-visible disabilities, as well as those of us with noticeable disabilities. The phrase, nothing about us without us, has been in the disability rights movement for a few generations now. My understanding is it came from Africa, the disability rights movement in Africa. And when I worked at the World Institute on Disability in Oakland before coming to CSU Monterey Bay, we had opportunity to interact with people from many different disability rights movements around the world. And so this particular phrase is very common among people with non-visible disabilities and those with noticeable disabilities. So in essence, what we're saying is so much of the time decisions that are made that are about disability policy, all these decision makers, whether it's a young person with a disability and their parents and school educators are making all the decision about them, and they don't even bring the young person to the meetings to talk about what does that person think is best for them. And then you take it from the individual level out to the community level and whole populations of people with disabilities. So often, whether it's at boards of directors of nonprofit agencies that don't have anybody with disabilities on them, and yet part of the population they're serving is intending to serve people with disabilities, or at the national level when setting actual legislation, who's at the table to work on the verbiage for the legislation. So nothing about us without us is about, if you're going to be developing decisions that impact people with disabilities, get people, those populations at the table. Get the input of people with disabilities before making decisions that are going to affect their lives.
It says science is the cure for ignorance. I work here at CSU Monterey Bay in the science department, or the School of Natural Sciences. And so that was my connection with regard to the Science March a couple years ago. There's the Women's March, there's the Science March, there's the march for just trying to be reasonable in this time of political insanity. and science is one of the touchstones for trying to help us come back down to the earth. That's the way I look at it.
So for me, I'm an immigrant, right? And but my work as a musician, as an artist, and as an educator is to let the world know that our basic humanity is really what is going to save us. And I see so many folks who are stripped of their humanity, and part of it is because we make these little boxes, and one of them is like the immigrant boxes, and we say those are the immigrants, but the sign "Todos somos inmigrantes," or "Todos y todas somos inmigrantes," it's because I want to remind the world that we all move, that it's a natural thing, and that it should not be illegal, should not be something that we frown upon. It's actually people that sometimes move the most are the ones with all the proper papers, but nobody pays attention to them. I really think that it's a political statement to say that we're all immigrants.